Hi, everyone, and welcome to Thriving and Multifamily, a visionary podcast brought to you by Multifamily Media Network. I am your host, Lissi Daniels, and I'm excited to be here today on this episode and talk about overcoming fears and stepping out of your comfort zone. Boy, we're going to have some fun today, or just have some really good dive in conversation that will help you navigate your journey. And hopefully, I can provide you with some tips when it comes to stepping out of that comfort zone. Because, yeah, I know it's scary. I know it's full of doubt and fear. And you get into your own self of thinking like, I can't do this. How am I going to navigate through this? What am I going to do when I fail or when I fall to the ground? And I'm here to help you, because the one thing I know is stepping out of my comfort zone. And I've been doing it here very lately when I decided to take those chances and stepping out as a speaker over. And also just, even with this being a new host for a podcast, putting my thoughts out there in the world with blog contents or articles, or just every time I get in front of a group of people and speak on a subject, or or something of that nature, to where I'm putting myself out there. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. And what I want to tell you is embrace that fear. All right. And what I mean by embracing the fear is let it be to where you can utilize it as a motivator, something to where you can know that I'm not going to get stuck in it. I'm going to sit there and really work hard to navigate around it. And I hope I can help you with that. So I want to kind of share a little story. So, like I like to say, picture this a few years ago. Yes, I'm using my Golden Girls. If you're a Golden Girls fans, I'm a big Golden Girl fan. Okay, picture this, right? It was a few years ago. Set up where we're at an education conference, and at that conference, I was sitting in the audience, and I was getting ready to listen to one of these speakers. She was an amazing speaker. And I was sitting back there and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this in. It was all about connections, and I was just ready to get inspired, like we all do when we go to education conferences, to learn, to grow, and develop, right? So I was sitting in the back, and I was like, all right, let me listen. And man, everything that she said just hit on the nail. I was like, I can do this. I can be like her. I've been really focused on connecting in associations to train and to facilitate. What is it that I got to do? She just motivated me, right? She's like, you get out there and you just go kick some butt as a woman, right? I was like, oh yeah, you should see it. In my mind, I was doing this. In person, I was like this. I was quiet with a smile on my face, but I was feeling it because it energized me. It got me going. And so I, after the her session was over, because it was about connections, and in that sense, I was like, all right, I got to muster up the confidence to go speak to her and see if she can give me some pointers. And so I did that. I went up to her and I was like, hi, can I get a card? And she passed out these stickers that were really cool, that really just made me kind of go to that next level, that resonated. And so I called her. We had a conference call, and she helped navigate that. One thing that I think that really stuck out to me about her when it came to stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something different and new was, she says, always listen to your signs, right? And meaning, like, how you got to really pay attention to what the universe tells you. And boy, was she right. Little things that didn't happen then, and didn't happen overnight. It took time, and it's still taking that time and growing. But when I say this, I share this story in the sense that it took me to have enough confidence to go and ask her about how to get started, for me getting to another level of building, to me even saying I can do speaking professionally, and I had it in me of what it took, but I just didn't know it yet, right? It took time to grow and build that along the way with mentors and coaches. And so I didn't stay in my box. If I stayed in my box, I wouldn't be here today. And so you got to kind of remember that sometimes, that the things that you set forth for yourself, especially if you want to level up in your career roles and go to the next advancement, or maybe you want to try something new within your industry, whether that is from being here within assistant manager to a manager to a property to going into navigating through training or navigating over to marketing or going over to the finance side. The things that you learn and grow, what do we have to do? We have to sit there and get out there and learn about that and visualize it and see it and figure out how are we going to get there to obtain it, right? So that's going to kind of go into our goals and tips that I got for you. I got 5, right? I got 5 on it for you. And so, and hopefully we can, by the end of this episode, we can have some establishment to where you can go back and I got this, I'm going to do this. And we're going to have fun with it. So step 1 is always identifying the source of your fear. What is the main source that brings that fear to you? What makes you be like crunched over in your stomach till you're like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I have it in me. What are people going to say? What if I just fall down on the ground and then what, right? No, recognize what that fear is and then turn around and then let's write it down to where we can set it aside and then move on to the next. Okay. So that's the first one. We're going to recognize it, right? What makes me scared? Is it because you're scared of what you will do or how things will be? No, we're going to, like I said before, we're going to put it to a side. And then the second tip is visualizing your success. Yes, I'm a big person when it comes to visualizing your success, writing things down on a vision board, writing things down in general, putting it in front of you, speaking things out there into the universe for it to turn around for you, but also seeing yourself. I remember I had a coach tell me, close your eyes and see if you can see yourself doing what you're doing. I know. And I used to always sit back with my eyes closed and I used to think in my mind, like, I see a stage. I always used to love red. I still do. And I would say, I see myself in red slacks. I have a black jacket, but it's with a t-shirt underneath it. I'm not in heels, even though I could rock some heels, but I was in some flat tennis shoes and I was just moving around that stage. And I kept that thought and I visualized it until I was saying it became a reality. And I kept moving with it and I kept going with it. And I still visualize that to this day because I still got some ways to go and certain things that I'm trying to obtain myself. So I only speak to what I can share with you guys. So anyways, visualize it for success, whatever it is that you're working towards or whatever it is that you want to accomplish, whether that is, again, career-wise or even personal. Maybe it's just becoming a better person. Maybe it is visualizing yourself as, I'm going to write in my journal. I'm a big journal writer. I'm going to write and put my thoughts down and really see how things are, or, whatever goal it is, or, and like I said, sometimes it's just sitting back and saying, what do I aspire to be? What is it that I'm want to develop within my own skill set? What is it that I want to obtain and continue to help me advance within my career? Whatever level that is, whatever it is that's going to make you better. Do you, right? That is the start of it. That is, it starts with us and lies within us. So, again, visualize that success. That's number 2. Number 3 is we're going to take small steps. Again, it's not going to happen overnight. I think sometimes we get into our mindset that success happens overnight. And if it does to some people, great. But sometimes for, like with me, it didn't happen overnight. And it's still not happening overnight because I've gone through my ups and downs. But what I've learned and defined within the process of my journey is to take small steps, one day at a time, whatever that looks like, whatever that's growing within you. Take those small steps because each step is something that's going towards it. And that's the great meat of it, right? It's only taking that first step. I always say that first step, get out of that. But those small steps, because again, it's your journey. It's no one else's. It's at your pace, no one else's. And remember, it's not a race. It really isn't. And even though sometimes we feel like it is, sometimes we need to take a step back and just realize, no, I'll do what I can do each and every day and be present with what you do each and every day. That is the beauty of it, okay? You can start each day new and you can go back and take that first step. Take the second step, the third step, and so forth. And then before you realize, you're going to get to where you want to be at. Okay. So keep that in mind. And then the fourth one is something that I'm very passionate about, that I like to speak on. And that is challenge your thoughts. Okay. And what I mean by challenge your thoughts is changing the course of your mindset and what it is that, is triggering those negative thoughts and that doubt. And again, the fear that we're trying to overcome. Write that down and challenge your thoughts to whenever you're starting to think about it, is to really change the course of those thoughts to something positive. So if you're thinking in a sense, what are people going to think about me putting this information out? Or what are people going to think about me wanting to level up in my career if I've only, and I'm still working towards it? What are people going to think about me if I want to step out and be a creator and do different things on all social media platforms? What you're going to do is change those thoughts. And it's like, you know what? Who cares? It's me. I'm going to do my best I can, because if I make a mistake, I'm going to fall. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to do it again until you get it to where you feel like it's right. Right. That's the thing about it. We have to be strong enough in our mindset to know that there's going to be times where we're going to fail, and there's going to be times where we feel like things are not working, but in a sense they are. And that doubt is just going to, it's just going to keep going. So believe in yourself. You didn't get this far to not be this far, right? So keep that in mind as well too, that when you're ready for that next level up, there's something inside of you that's saying it's time for something new and time for something to change. And I think I keep that mindset because throughout my journey in my life and going through ups and downs, failures, losses, let goes, and things, that I had to continuously keep a positive mindset to keep going and still hoping for something even bigger or something even the next. And it's not like it's something that just runs on fuel that you're never satisfied. I think it is when you hit that certain goal that you always want, or your dream that you always want to see, then you'll know that you're on that right track, right? It's always falling down and getting back up. Visualize it as, or think about it as you riding a bicycle. Okay, remember when the first time you ever rode a bike? You had the little tricycle and the little training wheels on, and you're just moving around. You're like, yeah, I got this. And then those training wheels were moved, and then it was time to get on the bicycle, and you fell down once, and you fell down again, and you were scared to scrape your knees, and you were scared to hurt yourself, even though you had your helmet on and your pads. But something inside of you kept telling yourself, I'm going to get back on that bicycle, and I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again until I can get it right. That's the same mentality as far as that when it comes to getting back up and trying over and over and over until you feel like you get it right. And what happens is you're letting go of that fear at the same time. And it's not sticking with you. It's not keeping you grounded in that sense. And so you can go out there and conquer the world with the mindset of, I can do this. And if we always, if you think about it, if we kept that same mindset like we were when we were younger, where nothing scared us, we would get on a roller coaster, we would sit there and ride our bikes, fall off, get back up, try it again, try new things, and not be scared. Then that's the same mentality we got to have when it comes to wanting to accomplish new goals and new dreams and new things in our life that takes us out of our comfort zone. And sometimes it's just really connecting with people that may be not in your comfort zone, or really building those connections. And sometimes fear is just not knowing how to start. All right. So use it as a motivator to say, you know what, I can do this. You're not going to win today, fear. I got this. At least that's what I tell myself. So again, challenge your thoughts. And then the fifth one is, I want you guys to celebrate those small wins. Small wins are just as important as your big wins. It's how you set your goals and how you make them attainable, and also making sure they're realistic. When you set the small goals, you need to also celebrate those small goals. When I mean, as far as those wins, right? Those are the things that keeps driving you. Those are the things that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated, that keeps you like, yay, I did it. Shoot, I celebrate the small wins when I can sit there and say, Woohoo! I scheduled a new post today. I learned something new for a new something new in technology, or I sit there and got a small win when I am celebrating something exciting with my family, or small wins or whatever, personal development, or I walked a mile today where yesterday I couldn't walk a full mile, or I was able to finish a book that I loved. And at the end of the day, it took me forever to get there. I have a funny story for you on that. But it's the little things, it's I got excited about hitting Rising Creator and Facebook. Okay, I know it's the little things. But that's something that's important to you. That's something that makes you feel like you achieve something that you're working towards, especially if you're the creator and you're creating certain things. And but don't focus on the things so much to where it hinders you from wanting continuously to grow, but just really just celebrate those. I think when the more you celebrate the small wins, the bigger the wins they come. So I always say small wins equals big results. Okay, so that was the fifth one, right? And so you have identifying your fear, your source of fear, visualizing your success. Whether you are a vision board person or you write things down in a journal, to where you can see it. Again, I'm a firm believer back of putting things out there in the universe, because when you see it and you focus on it, things will happen. Trust me, things will happen. And then take those small steps, whatever it is, just take that small step. I think it's those small steps what's it's going to equal, again, big things. That's the fruit of your labor. That's the end of it all. And I just want to be that, cheer and let you know it can happen. And then challenge your thoughts. Again, don't sit in that negativity. Challenge that thought or that doubt or that, the fear of things not going the way it's planned. And if you fail, that is okay. Try and try again. Remember that. And when you get to that point and you get the down and worry, remember the time when you were little and you were riding the bicycle and you were ready for, and you fell and you got back up. Or remember the time that, you were trying to accomplish any other goals in life. And if you fail, get back up and keep trying. Let that fear motivate you to keep driving force to know you can continue to do it. That there's something that's keep going. It's moving, right? So keep that in mind and change the course of those thoughts and say, I can, I will, let's make it happen. Okay. Whatever it is that gets you going. And that's either you have things that, your positive reinforcement, which is like your pit crew. And what I mean by my pit crew is I developed this a while ago, where they're like my support system. So each one plays a different role in my life. And whether that's person that's going to be that cheerleader for me, that person that's going to be, all right, let me have you think outside the box. I challenge you, but I'm going to be there for you. And then, your support. That's what they are. Whatever you want to call your support team, they're there for you as well. When you feel like you're down and you can't, and you don't know if you can really achieve what you're trying to work so hard for, and you put so much effort and everything into it, and that fear comes, get on the phone. And if you don't have anyone, then you tune in to me, and I'll pep you up. Okay, remember, because I know you can do it. You just got to get outside of your own way and the distractions that come with that. And and remember, it's a process. Everything that you're working towards is a process, and you got to trust it, that it's going to happen, and that you things or don't happen overnight. And if we all can have great success overnight, we all would be doing it. No, it's a process. It took one thing that worked to the next level. And and especially within my career, I've had a lot of failures and let goes and downs to be able to get to where I'm at today. And I'm still navigating that. Let me tell you a secret. I haven't hit that level, and I haven't. It's not that it's a certain part of me and to me where I'm like, yeah, I did it. No, what I mean is I'm still growing and developing, meaning you're constantly evolving as people. And there's going to be times in your journey where you're going to have those setbacks. But I always feel like those setbacks are your set forths for things that are going to be great to come, right? So that's where that fear of doubt has to be like put in line for me, where I have to kind of dig back in. I'm like, all right, all right, all right, we got this. And I think it's amazing in whatever opportunities you have that come your way. Those are those small wins. Those are those small things that keeps you driving. So keep that in mind of all the things that you did great at from that time where you feel like something is not working, or that fear of you thinking you can't do it, and you don't know if you're capable, or you don't have that full belief in yourself. Remember what I just said, okay? And keep the 5 tips to help navigate you through this, through your process in any kind of way. And then always know to be patient with yourself. Who's not patient? Because I know there's times where I feel like my patience is not the best, but have patience with yourself and know that anything is possible, as long as you know that you're trying and you're really working through it. I think at the end of the day, it starts with you. Hint, the vision starts with you. Go back around, visualize it. Yes, see, there's always some truth into the matter of things. But again, just remember that it is a process. It is your journey at your own pace. And get out there, get out of your comfort zone, step out, challenge you to do something different that you normally wouldn't do. And if you ever get fearful of it and you want to overcome it, put these into action. But always remember that's time when you were afraid of something, but you're like, I'm going to navigate through it. And for me was, falling off my bicycle 15 times, in a sense, and then getting back up and keep trying until I got it. And then you're like, just remember that rush when you finally got it and you're like, I did it. Okay. So, again, I hope you enjoyed this episode of overcoming fear and stepping out of your comfort zone, because I know there's a lot of great things that you can do. Be innovative, be creative, be visionaries out there. Tune in for more. I am your host, Lissi Daniels. Thank you.